All right, let's get down to business. This is no longer a question. This is a statement for everyone who likes Resident Evil, casuals and all. We are a joke. We are a joke. The fan base, the people, the very foundation of how they get their money, how they feed their children, how they keep their house afloat, how they pay their bills. We're a joke. And if everything before didn't already tell you that, from, oh, well, maybe we'll listen to the fans now and give director's cut of Resident Evil 3 remake 9 years, literally years after we already did that, said that, done that, and made 3 other games. When we keep allowing these CG movies to still exist with Leon S. Kennedy as the staple boy, even though it took him 7 years to come back in our faces, Jill was still there. She was still popping it at the time. Not anymore. Speaking of which, throwing Jill to the wayside. If that didn't tell you that we were a joke to them, why don't I tell you guys something that I just saw on Twitter? Let's read it, shall we? Exclusive. Jill, Hannah John Kamen, that woman over there who everyone keeps saying is Sheva when Sheva doesn't look like that. You just are racist and you think that anybody with any type of curly hair with that combination of nose and lips are black. And Wesker, Tom Hopper, aka Dickon from Game of Thrones. Percival from Merlin. The Knight. He was taller than every other knight because they were all Britland. He was the tallest dude of the bunch, so he was like the strong John guy. I highly recommend Merlin. Yes, there's some problems with it. Yes, I'll get to that video. No, I'm not going to do it right now because I got schoolwork to do. But I'm going to do this real quick. Are going to be a couple in Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. We're a joke. We're a joke. You guys should have saw this coming. I saw it coming. I've been talking about this, but I'm doom and gloom. I'm doom and gloom when I just ask for play the game, put it on TV, get good actors. If you don't have that, oh, well, people, it was either get good actors or get people that look like it. Then you keep going. You keep doing that until it gets done. Oh, well, we've got deadline. The deadline is when you say it is, because I don't have control of the deadline. Do you have control of the deadline? This is Dora the Explorer right now. Do you know where the person is that's holding a gun to their head so that we have to have that thing come out, even though we've been saturated with Resident Evil content for months and months and months, and everyone keeps talking about it and telling me that I should just accept it and just close my eyes and close my nose and just let them hand feed me crap? Good. Because honestly, I don't quite understand. I don't understand. I don't know who's doing this. I don't know who's holding them at gunpoint and threatening their whole entire family to have to continuously saturate our life with Resident Evil content. And then anyone going to talk about, oh, well, if I'm going to complain because there's grievances. I would love to not come on here and trash talk something that I love. But here we are. I would love to. I would love to go be able to do my homework. But I saw this crap. Test screening that went very good with audiences. Who are you asking? Who are you asking? When you do something, there is a bias. I do believe that they chose a certain demographic to screen these scenes. And it has a deeper rooted issue into it. If you want my opinion about the casting, link is in the description. If you would like my opinion on these 3 pictures that we were given, even though where's the trailer? Everyone's still waiting for the trailer because we're trying to see this in action, and they're not trying to do it. They're trying to wait a little bit because everyone's already upset. Everyone's already upset, except those people that'll just take any slop. Those people that just accept anything that says Resident Evil. Oh my goodness, this is so great. Oh my goodness, Leon looks perfect. Oh my goodness, who is that? Is that Brad? No, it's not Brad. Oh, that's Leon? No. Enrico? That's Enrico, right? No, Leland Stottlemyre from Monk? No, it's Richard. Mr. Richard, who doesn't have a mustache, but this dude has a mustache, Richard? The dude that never entered the freaking mansion with them? The dude that should not be in this scene? Wow. Amazing. I'm pretty sure they got a demographic that didn't know anything about Resident Evil, and they're just going basically based on movie. And they're like, oh, well, we're trying to... Then, oh my goodness, I'm so glad someone is going to say, it's a movie, da-da-da-da-da, it's its own thing. Just, it can be its own thing when it doesn't rely on someone else's content, i.e. Resident Evil. Raccoon City didn't just come out their anus. It didn't cream out their anus, all right? This existed before them. This existed before this whole situation, Welcome to Raccoon City. So don't give me none of that. Like, you can keep giving it to me, but I'm going to give it right back tenfold, is basically what I'm saying. I don't know if this is true or whatever. Just saw it. But, it's like, oh, good screenings. Okay, there's so much in this. There's so much in this that just it's gnawing at me. So first off, let me just, I'm not even a Jill stan. I'm for Jill coming back to the series because you guys left her in Revelations 1 a long time ago. And then Revelations 2 has nothing to do with anything. And then someone's going to tell me, oh, well, the Revelations aren't connected. Don't call it Revelations 2 if it has nothing to do with Revelations 1. That's it. That's literally it. And then, okay, we can talk about why I said there was an issue with them doing Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2. But guess what? Spencer Mansion, that whole booty crap happened separately than what happened in Raccoon City. So what do you mean, welcome to Raccoon City? That happened later. Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 3 connects better than Resident Evil 1 and 2. Resident Evil 0 and 1 connects better than Resident Evil 1 and 2. He literally only did that because he's like, oh, 1, what's next? 2, like, that's all he did. Literally, that's all he did. Stop giving him accolades. Stop giving him credit for anything. We haven't seen it. And people want to, well, stop giving him hate. Like, well, I'm seeing what I see, and it's hatred. I see nothing but hatred and no care for anybody or any person that has to do with Resident Evil or cares about it. That's what I see. So let's go back. Let's trail back. Like I said, I'm not even a Jill, stan. I am a Claire stan. I am a Albert Wesker stan. But I still have respect for Jill. These people obviously do not. Because now she's going to look like Boo Boo the Fool. Everyone looked like Boo Boo the Fool. Everyone looked like Boo Boo the Fool in Resident Evil 1 when Wesker and Barry, he was like extorting Barry, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna kill your family, even though I'm right here and you could shoot me, but I'm gonna kill your family when we get out of here. Like, it was like, okay. But maybe they were in some place, but that's crazy because he still did what he needed to do and got it done, and he still went back on him, so his family's still alive. So it's just, what I'm saying is that was an idle threat, but made by Wesker, because he could have killed them anyway. But honestly, they have no respect for Jill Valentine. She's going to look like Boo Boo the Fool. Everyone in Resident Evil 1 looked like Boo Boo the Fool when Wesker went against his team. Went against everyone. No one knew. No one saw it coming. The only person who was in on it was Barry. Another person who was taken out of this whole situation. He's not here. There's no person that's casted to play him. There's no one that looks like him. There's no one that was in place of him. We have Leland Stottlemyre. That's what we got. And Barry, oh my gosh. They were like, where's Barry? They're like, where's Barry? I'm asking, where's Barry? Maybe they did play the games. Maybe they were like, oh, where's Barry? And then they thought they played 1 minute into the game and they're like, okay, where's Barry? I guess he died, so we don't need to add him, right? Okay, done. Good. Give me my monies. Like, that's all they did. Y'all are insane. Like, it's so hilarious to me that there's anybody defending this. But let's get back to topic. So, because you excluded Rebecca Chambers from the whole cast, we now only have one woman in this thing. And now you're turning her into a loser. Jill Valentine is supposed to be Boo Boo the Fool. She's the sole Boo Boo the Fool. She is solely Boo Boo the Fool. And also another thing, I think it's interesting that they coded Albert Wesker to be gay, and then he's never seen, or bisexual, and he's never seen in a male-male relationship. This was your opportunity to do so, but you don't know the game, so pardon me. So now Jill Valentine's going to be the fool. Everyone literally, Chris Redfield, her love interest that supposedly by Resident Evil 6, the game, they're married. And that's why she can't be there. And they're like, oh, the reason Capcom gave for excluding Jill Valentine from Resident Evil 6 was, oh, we don't want the drama of marriage and relationships to get in the middle of all that. Like, maybe that's your life. Maybe that was your mama's life with your daddy, but you could literally not do that. How about not do that? These are fake people. I don't know if you think they're real, but that you can make anybody anything. You obviously already know that because you've been doing it for years. So, as I said, no respect for women. They don't care about women. So they're like, let's just willy-nilly do this women thing. And okay, tell me that Barry's excluded and Jill's still here, but look what Jill looks like. Look what Jill looks like. And like I said, I don't really care that much all about, because guess what? First of all, she's not black. She's not. You guys just see curly hair, little big hair, little thicker lips, and a little wider nose, and you say, oh, that's Shava. Like when Shava literally had not a single one of those attributes. She just had a little dark skin. She passed the paper bag test, lighter than a brown egg. She passed it. She had straight hair. The only difference is you assume this girl is black. And that's what I hypothesized a year ago. But look, here we go. So Jill's going to be the only one. And if only two routes can go from here. She either knew and she's a villain now, or either way, there's conflict between her and her team now. Or she is a little dainty old girl that's just blinded by love and, oh, I couldn't oh, my wrist. Oh, you just threw me on the ground. I'm just useless. I don't know anything. Please, just have mercy on my woman self. Like, that's all we're going to get. Those are the only two routes we can go from her being in a relationship with Albert Wesker, who is the villain. Spoiler, but I know 100%, 99.9 of the people that go watch this are going to be people who are already aware of what Resident Evil is. So why on earth are you guys making something that's not true to the source material? How hard is it? I don't understand how it has to be freaking impossible, because we haven't gotten it. The closest thing we got to the games was the CG movies, and oh my goodness, link is in the description to those, because I reviewed all of them. I reviewed the regular movies and I reviewed the CG movies. Please go watch those. I'm not even going to talk about Infinite Darkness. That was a joke. It was a joke. I laughed so hard. It was a funny joke. So glad I didn't have to waste my money on it. I already had Netflix. But no, like Wesker, this whole thing with Wesker, he's just a playboy now, right? He wasn't thinking about getting in. Oh my goodness, he wasn't thinking about having a relationship. He was literally fooling 9 different people at once. He was masterminding this whole thing. I hope you guys know that. I hope you know that. So Jill's either going to look very, very stupid or very, very guilty. That's it. That's all this does. It just ruins Jill. And I hope that the Jill stans watch this video and get angry so that we can fix this, because we can still fix it. I don't care if there's one, like, oh, all we got to do is put the credits and then we're done with the movie. If it's not out yet, you can pull that crap and fix it. Calling all Jill stans. This is a bad idea. Forget what she looks like if you are racist. I repeat, forget what she looks like if you are racist. Because this is a bigger problem than her even being, if she was Asian, if she was anything else other than what we assumed her to be, white, Anglo-Saxon of the Cox Mountain. This is bad. There are only 2 routes. I repeat, 2 routes. She is either going to look very stupid, like an idiot, like a fool, or she's going to be very calculated and very villainesque. They're going to make her a villain. Now I see why they chose a woman that would be mistaken for black, because she's a villain. I get it now. Here we go. I bet he saw the dude that everyone's giving accolades to and saying, oh, he handpicked those people. He knows what he's doing. Telling me in the comments that I'm overreacting because this guy knows what he's doing, when I don't know anything that he's ever made. I know M. Night Shyamalan, and yes, he's a bad example because he's terrible. 1 out of 5 movies he's made are good. But I know him. I could say, okay, M. Night Shyamalan had something to do with that crap Avatar: The Last Airbender movie. I can say, okay, he made Glass. Okay, he made The Sixth Sense. With this dude, I don't even know his name. I'm just going to call him this dude because I don't know anything he's done. I know Schneider. I know a lot of Schneider films I can name for you. I don't know this dude. So I'm not going to like sit here and be like, oh, he's done all these things. I don't even know. I'm not going to look it up because I already see that he doesn't care. But what I'm saying is he probably looked at it and was like, I don't believe that there's enough woman slander in this thing. I had a terrible relationship with my mother. So what we're going to do is we're going to make Jill an enemy. And we're going to make Claire stupid too. But we don't know anything about that yet because we've only seen one picture of her. But she'll be probably stupid and a loser, no doubt, written by men that had bad relationships with their mothers. Their sisters stole their G.I. Joe doll, so they got mad, and they're still mad at freaking 76 years old. I'm just sitting here like, y'all, this was like one of the worst things I could have seen today. Like, I woke up nice and late. I usually wake up really early and get started on my schoolwork. I got nice and late. I got good rest. I was going to get a donut, and I haven't eaten yet. I just brushed my teeth and washed my face. All I had time to do because I saw this crap. Like, so many things are going through my head. Like, so, okay, first of all, she's going to be, you guys, men cannot write romance when talking about women. They can't. What are we going to do here? Well, there's nothing that can come from this but misery, misogyny, and downright shamefulness. There's nothing that could come from this other than just deplorable debauchery. I can't think of a situation, a time like I'm sitting there. Imagine me as Doctor Strange, and I'm like trying to figure out what timeline we got to go down to in order to get a good movie from this. And out of 1.3 billion possibilities, there's only one, and we're not going to get that. We're not going to get that. I'm telling you right now, we're not going to get it. So get your hopes down, nice and low. And maybe you'll be happy about one thing. Because like I said, this dude was the worst person. I can literally run outside my house and go to Walmart and probably find someone that looked like Wesker better than this dude. And you go, oh, it's all about the acting. Then go in a play then. Bye. Go to a play then. Bye. Go to an opera or something. I don't know. Like, but this is when you have a movie, it mixes that and it mixes wherever you're getting it from, because most movies are from books. So it's fine to be like switching people and saying, oh, well, he was this and that. And people love to nitpick what people look like in books that you can interpret as different ways. And even translation can be different. But when it comes to literal things, that's why I think people are colorblind. I think you need to go to your local Walmart or your local wherever optics center and get your eyes tested and see if you are part colorblind, if you just have hard time seeing certain colors and shapes as well. Because like I said, since the dawn of Resident Evil, y'all have not been able to capture Chris Redfield's spirit essence in a freaking two-dimensional character. He's like freaking on a screen. It's really, you can animate anything on freaking Earth. Like I said in my last video, it doesn't have to exist. And for some reason, you guys cannot make Chris look like anything. Even in the CG movie, Vendetta, he looked like a rat. Everyone looked rat-like in there, but he looked most like rat. Why? How hard is it to just make it look the same? His eyes are getting really close together. Like from 5 to Revelations 1 to 6 to Vendetta, his eyes are getting really close together for some reason. I don't understand. We need help. Ironically, Chris is the only one that looks like the character he's supposed to look like. But all you gotta do is freaking type up what these people look like and find someone that look like that, and then keep going until there's someone that fits that description and acting. And guess what? You can have wigs, and guess what? You can make them look really spectacular. A lot of people wear wigs and no one knows. There's no excuse. Unacceptable. No excuse. And if my only grievance was just eye color, then we would be in a better position. But it's not even literally, like I said, take skin out of this. You racist, freaking stop being racist for freaking 2 seconds and just see that freaking Albert Wesker was not towering over people like a tyrant. Why didn't he play a tyrant? I think that's interesting. How come Hopper wasn't a tyrant? Are we not going to get tyrants? Are we just going to get zombie dogs again? Are we even going to get are we going to get lickers again? Are we going to get lickers again? For like the billionth time? If lickers were omitted, that's still a problem in 2. But in 1, I don't recall no lickers. You know what I do recall? Crimson Heads. I recall freaking Crimson Heads. We haven't seen that in freaking form, in freaking movie form. Freaking do it. Like, that's one of the best things ever. It's very simplistic. Just get somebody to get a manicure on their freaking hands and scratch somebody's eyeballs out. Like, that's all you gotta do. Paint them all red. That's all you really gotta do. And that's after they die as a zombie. But you probably didn't know that because you don't even know what the games are. Before anybody can adapt anything like that, they should have to take a test. And everyone should see their score. Because I don't think he would pass the most basic tests. Whose last name is Redfield? He'd probably say Wesker. He'd probably say Wesker, like Wesker's not a last name, I'm sure. Without looking at anyone's skin tone, without looking at anything like that, where's Barry? Where's Rebecca? Why does Richard have a mustache? Why is he in the mansion right then? Like I said before, I'm expecting Leon to be in the Spencer mansion. I'm expecting Leon to kill everyone and become the hero because he thinks that that's what we want. I'm expecting that. I'm expecting Chris to die. I'm expecting Jill to be pregnant with Wesker's child by the end of this. Like, I'm expecting the worst. I'm expecting the worst. Don't get your hopes up, honestly, like I said. This was the worst thing that could have possibly ever occurred. We are down the timeline that is not only terrible, but this may very well be when a lot of people stop caring about Resident Evil. It'll be as obscured as the Dead Rising series. Like, y'all trying to bring back Saints Row. That's what we're going to have to do with Resident Evil. We're going to have to take some time off. We're going to have to cool down. The cooldown's about to be 5 to 10 years of cooldown. And then they're going to talk about, hey, you guys, do you guys remember what we did a long time ago? I hope you don't, because we got Resident Evil 9. And then they're going to run out of the room, and then we're going to look at it. We're going to smell it and investigate it like animals. And then we're going to play it and it's going to be trash. They're going to go back to their hole. There's nothing else I can say. I did see that there was a leak, supposedly, that, what's it called? Resident Evil 9. Yeah, it does, in development. But it's just like, honestly, I don't want it. I don't want it. Like, after Resident Evil 7 and 8, which should have been a kicked off, like, how freaking dare you? Capcom, I speak to you now. These words. How dare you make Claire's game a woman's game? Bottom shelf, bottom rung. Every time I discuss Resident Evil Code Veronica, you know what I get? It's not a numeral. It's not a part of the main games. Like, tell that to Kingdom Hearts. Without those side games, you have no context to what's going on in 3. You barely have context to 2. I will say this forever and always. Resident Evil Code Veronica adds more, gives more to the Resident Evil franchise than Resident Evil 4 does. Always, forever. Leon is a glorified side character. But I think it's interesting that Code Veronica, which brings so much, if you want to see me play it, go to my channel, go under the playlists, and go to the playlist of Code Veronica and whatnot. I started Resident Evil 0 and I stopped because it's one of the hardest games. So is Code Veronica, but I love it more than Resident Evil 0. Resident Evil 0 is garbage. The story's garbage. I like the game itself. I don't like the mechanics. The mechanics are also trash. But you know what? Code Veronica deserves a remake more than Resident Evil 4, because guess what? Resident Evil 4's graphics aren't half as bad, aren't even close. They're not even in the same atmosphere. Resident Evil Code Veronica looks more like Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. And guess what? All 3 of them got remakes and remastered. So, really interesting that Resident Evil 4 is going to be remade when, it looks fine. It looks freaking fine. You can play it and it not be a complete disgrace to graphics. But I'm done. I'm hungry. Gotta do schoolwork. Gotta freaking clean up. I'm so done. Like, there's nothing that can come good from this Welcome to Raccoon City crap. I warned y'all a year ago. A year ago, I warned y'all. There's no hope. Anyone who can say with a straight face, oh my goodness, this looks just like it. Like, I suggest you get your eyes tested, please. I am looking out for you. Get your eyes tested because something is wrong. You can't see right. And if someone wants to come to me and play the game like, oh, just let people like things. Do you let your kid go and play in trash? But what if they like that trash? No, no. And then some of y'all do, and that's you. But what's me? I'm calling right now. I'm calling it. I'm calling for a boycott of Welcome to Raccoon City until they fix this, because there's nothing good that can come from Jill Valentine being in a relationship of any kind other than freaking professional as it was. It didn't have to be dramatic. See, now that's one thing. That's one thing that they're going to say. All the e-boys and the incels and the quarter of the men are going to blame women when no woman is getting any money from this. They're going to blame the voice actress. They're going to blame everyone under the sun. They're going to blame their moms before they blame the guy who did this. I don't care what freaking boomers you got to watch this crap and saw them kiss or saw them brush up against each other and was like, oh my goodness, yes. And they applauded. Like, I don't care. I don't care what boomers said that was a good idea. This isn't good. I call for a boycott of Welcome to Raccoon City. This was the final straw. They're going to blame us as they're blaming black people, and they're blaming this actress for being hired for a job she did not hire herself for when she's not even black. There's nothing good that can come from Albert Wesker being in a relationship, an unprofessional relationship with Jill Valentine. What? Because she's one of the only women on this team, she's supposed to add drama, add taste, I really do think this director guy or whoever made this decision, they have a problem. They saw their mom cheat on their dad, and then they're like, let me add this in here because everyone's going to say that Jill, even though this reality isn't even a part of the canon, they're going to say that Jill is cheating on Chris when Jill has no control of this. Jill's not a real person, but Jill has no control of this if you want to play that silly game. It's this dude trying to fulfill his fantasies through ruining Resident Evil. I call for a boycott of this. I'm going to leave y'all with that. Hopefully we get this, and hopefully it spreads it far enough, wide enough to stop this freak show. Like, that's the end of that tale. Like, Jill Valentine is far more professional than we didn't even get what we really wanted, her and Chris to be a item. We had to read it somewhere. It wasn't even in the game. She was professional until y'all stopped putting her in the games. And then you blamed her. If she was in Resident Evil 6, there would just be arguing like some married couple. When maybe, like I said, that's what your mother did with your father. Maybe that's what happened in your eyes when you were a child and you were watching. But leave that out of my Resident Evil movies. Go to therapy. That's what you need. I'm done.